Hello guys, welcome to another episode of the Card Senpai. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today's topic, we're gonna talk about my favorite One Piece cards. So today I want to be talking about some of the favorite cards that I have in my collection. Okay, so as if you guys don't really follow Card Senpai, you know my favorite cards to collect is one and only Mihawk. Okay, I would say the artwork on this guy. Okay, the artist is from Akira Ogawa. So technically this card really reminds me of the time where Mihawk's basically just sitting down, minding his own business, whether he's drinking his tea at his own, his dojo, or even just the iconic moment when he first was introduced in the East Blue Saga, the arc where he was coming in on the boat with that I would say iconic pose, him sitting on a chair with the sword behind him. But yeah, for me this artwork is very underrated, and for me the greatest Mihawk alternate art card that I would see out. There's a one that's about to come out and release very soon, and I'm looking forward to grabbing that. And again, if Dracul Mihawk did not exist in One Piece, I think my favorite character could have been the GOAT himself, Edward Newgate. So I like the face cards, the parallel cards, but for me, this card is very iconic. I love Edward Newgate. For me, his value is moral in the One Piece anime show. I think where he really likes to prioritize family, and he always wanted to have his own family. So he gathered up a great, I would say, a crew, a bunch of them, and basically became like a one man, not a one man, but like more like a freaking army, right? We just small, I would say, small crew of the Whitebeard pirates, but they literally could run, or I would say take over the whole world. And I think Whitebeard for me is a very interesting character. I like how he displays he's like such a very strong personality, and at the same time very caring and touching leader. And also at the same time, he not only he talks the talk, but he walks the walk. Everyone knows, if you watch the anime, right, you tell that Roger and him literally could fight for days. And again, I think he was the only guy that could step up to Roger, right? Again, he wasn't really focusing on claiming the One Piece, even if he wanted to, right? And I don't want to spoil, I would say, many of the shows for you, but I believe this guy could have been a real deal if he became the king of the pirates after Roger, right? So again, some of the cards that I like to collect are Mihawk cards and very underrated Zoro cards. Okay, this is not the manga Zoro from OP06, but it's one of my favorite, I would say, manga cards, even if it's just from the premium collection. And I like how I would say this was the first time they met Zoro, when Luffy and the crew and the gang in the beginning of the show, where they first saw, I would say, a pirate hunter strapped onto I would say, on a wood and starve to death, maybe, I would say. But yeah, it's very iconic. If you've seen the premium collection, you would see a bunch of them. They would, I would say, show the background of how they all first I would say, like, interact. And yeah, I think for me the manga set is, I would say, very iconic. Also, it's a very cheap manga card, right? And for me, I really like this manga set because maybe you could say it's the first mangas. I would say, like, the first Zoro manga, the first Luffy manga, the first Nami manga, the first Chopper manga. So basically very cool. And also another, so it's another cheap card. It's, for me, one of my favorite, the first ever Gear 5 Luffy. You know, everyone has a first time for everything, right? So this card was given out on One Piece Day, the first ever Gear 5 Luffy. I remember this Gear 5 hype was so crazy big back in 2022 or 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was really insane. 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Gear 5 Luffy was such a big hype, I would say. Big hype, just like that Goku from Dragon Ball Super, where he reached Ultra Instinct. And yeah, I believe One Piece card game became so popular because, again, just like the Dragon Ball, right? Because of that, I would say that trend where people would start to copy from the anime. You would see athletes start to mimic Luffy with the Gear 5 laughter, just like the Dragon Ball Super with Ultra Instinct. Everyone would basically pay tribute to, I would say, the greatest moments of Dragon Ball back in 2018, right? So I think One Piece right now is so hot that everyone's jumping into the market, and only because I would say Pokemon starting to slow down. Back then, Pokemon craze was so high, and then at the same time, people wanted to find other ways to collect cards because Pokemon was becoming too expensive, right? So what else can they look for? And I even called this from before, and even before it came out in Japanese. And as you know, Japanese cards tend to release much more earlier than English. That One Piece TCG will, I would say, boom. And look where it has been today. Have you guys ever seen a manga, like I would say, manga sets being sold like over what, 5K? Black Label graded even more, PSA even more, right? So One Piece cards are going to be here to stay, but in terms of valuable, I would not say they can hold their, I would say, their value for long term, because again, Bandai, they're reprinting these cards, and it's insane how so many of them are out there. And I think the only prize cards are literally just the tournament prize cards. Other than that, as I said, even for Pokemon, if you're able to pull a card from a certain set, it is not valuable. Okay, pulling cards from certain sets will have over 6 figures copies around the world. People will say the manga is hard to pull, this and that, but look at the market, right? If you can do your research on PSA 10, don't even care about the Black Label because it's more like a gamble, right? But anything you would see, there's so many duplicates around the world in PSA 10s. Okay, unless you're a person that likes Black Label and maybe supports the company, but technically for me, grading is a scam, but that's another topic. But the abundance of these cards where you can pull from sets, promos, I would say premium collection, what else? There's many ways that they can distribute it out, right? Through events, but prize cards, first place, championship, those are just like any other TCG, whether you're talking about Digimon, Pokemon, I would say One Piece, Dragon Ball, tournament prize cards, even for Yu-Gi-Oh, right? That's the reason why there's so many, I would say, expensive Yu-Gi-Oh cards out there, even if there's so many copies, is because, again, the value that prize cards hold, right? Again, Yu-Gi-Oh, if you follow Yu-Gi-Oh, you can see those T3. You can see all those crazy, I would say, high-end cards are all usually through exclusive. The Blackluster Soldier as well, tournament first ever prize card, right? The vanilla. And at the same time, you can see a lot even for Digimon winner cards, right? You can see Dragon Ball, again, prize cards for tournaments. One Piece, same, World Championships, Pokemon 2. And you can see that anything that deals with, I would say, exclusivity in attaining a certain card will always hold its value compared to pulling it from a certain box or set that's already been distributed over thousands, hundreds of thousands all over the world in all languages, right? So that's my take on One Piece cards, some of my favorite cards. Maybe I'll share more of what I have, but This is my first ever One Piece video, and hope you guys enjoyed, and give a thumbs up if you guys like the content, and maybe I could do more of this. Again guys, thank you for watching. Peace.